This is a continuation of a previous What If, so be sure to watch that first. For a brief account of where we left off, the addition of Nappa and Lunch's daughter Echalot helped Goten and Trunks become stronger than normal. To the extent they destroyed Buu, Goku remained in Otherworld, and Vegeta accepted his soul being reincarnated, leading to Trunks being more serious about becoming stronger. Now, we move into the post-Buu events. In the years following the Buu arc, Trunks requests Nappa teach him, as someone who viewed his father's development as a fighter. Despite Nappa trying to spar with one far stronger than him, he finds little he can teach Trunks, and instead helps when Trunks and Echalot spar with each other, having accepted his own limits. When thinking of ways they can hone their skills or become far stronger, he remembers the power Tenshinhan summoned against Cell, but hasn't been able to find him since the Cell game. He talks to Dende, who reveals where he is, and goes to talk with him. Tenshinhan still has a lot of resentment towards Nappa for the 2 times he fought him, but he remembers the compassion he had for future Echalot, and honours teaching Trunks and Echalot what tenets of martial arts he can. He tells them that Kikoho is a skill they shouldn't learn, but does start tutoring them within the gravity room on Kaio's teachings, which helped him come up with the Shin Kikoho, as both gain far greater control over their ki, as well as Goten when he joins in, and help push Ten to strive for greater heights, realizing the flaw in diverging from Kaio's teachings, and going back to basics with it, to finally learn the Kaioken as a means of tutoring the kids better. For Super, Beerus asks more calmly about the Super Saiyan God, with Trunks having surpassed Gohan and being highly motivated to achieve the form, quickly being tutored by Whis. When Frieza returns, Echalot and Goten are considered mature enough as fighters to stand with their family against Frieza, where their fusion gets rid of Tagoma, but is no match for Frieza himself. Super Saiyan 3, Gotalot's ki, is enough to alert Trunks, who is brought to Earth by Whis, where Trunks' serious attitude has him overpower Golden Frieza and not give him the opportunity to destroy Earth or have Sorbet hit him. In the Universe Tournament, the roster for Universe 7 is Trunks, Tenshinhan, Piccolo, Nappa, and Monaka. Nappa wanting to test himself as a means of not having to choose between only Goten or Echalot. Tenshinhan goes first and manages to throw Botamo out of the ring, but is still no match for Frost, nor is Nappa. Piccolo then goes but loses to Frost fairly when Frost still has enough stamina to not need the needles. Trunks then goes and gets a victory by default when Frost cheats, before tutoring Kappa a bit when reminded of his father, and shows off Super Saiyan God to defeat him, then defeat and hit. Meanwhile, in the future timeline, Trunks and Echalot sparring together makes them far stronger than usual, progressing far quicker with the Zetor sword, and getting their potential unlocked before facing Babidi. They are then surprised by the arrival of Trunks Black, who attempts to assassinate Shin immediately after Babidi's defeat, but Trunks saves everyone through using the Taioken to retreat. Sparring with Echalot allows them to both bring out more of their latent power, similar to the level Gohan improved in the Tournament of Power, quickly growing to the level they can easily get rid of Black before Zamasu arrives. His immortality has Echalot decide to distract him, while Trunks goes to the past, learning the Mafuba, before coming back just in time to save his fatigued wife and seal Zamasu. Meeting their future selves gives the present Trunks and Echalot much to think about. It's around this time that Dende also informs Trunks on Vegeta being reincarnated as a boy named Tajibe, a reverse of the katakana spelling out Vegeta's name, and Trunks being highly motivated to tutor him in the future. He's also told of Buu being reincarnated as Oob, though this occurred far later than usual when Buu wasn't as pure as normal. The Tournament of Power is eventually announced. Universe 7's team is Trunks, Gohan, Piccolo, Nappa, Echalot, Kuririn, Tenshinhan, Muten Roshi, 17 and 18. Trunks powers through most of the competition when having perfected Super Saiyan Blue and being far stronger than Goku or Vegeta would be. Nappa's Shugyo with Echalot has brought him to the level he prevents Frost from targeting Kuririn, defeating him with Ten Shin Han's help, while they both share a moment of recognition in having both grown beyond past animosity. Universe 7's teamwork stands strong against the other teams, though Dispo takes the opportunity when Gohan is fighting Kefla to eliminate Ten Shin Han and Kuririn, Jiren eventually being faced with Trunks, 17, Nappa, Echalot, and Roshi. Their teamwork is enough to wear Jiren down, to the extent Trunks and Echalot take Jiren out of the ring along with themselves, after Trunks' blue form evolves to a greater level, 17 then wishing to restore the other universes. When Moro becomes active, Meris contacts Gohan for help outright, who then goes to help the Galactic Patrol. Without Shunkan Idol, they arrive too late to save Eska or stop Moro from achieving his wishes, and are forced to retreat. It's in acknowledgement of how he might have succeeded if mastering his father's technique that Gohan tells Meris to seek out Trunks while he goes to Yardrat to learn Shunkan Idol. Trunks is taught by Meris the tenets of Ultra Instinct he started to become aware of since watching Roshi fight Jiren. Nappa and Echalot are the ones to oppose 7-3 in Gohan's place, while Gohan learns spirit control. The Dragon team being far weaker without Gohan though, causes Nappa and Piccolo to perish against Dragonball before Meris is able to bring Trunks to Earth. His talent and the effect these losses have on him causes him to master Ultra Instinct, with Gohan then arriving to perform Forced Spirit Fission, which allows the Namekian Dragon Balls to be used as of Eska's revival, as both put an end to Moro before he can absorb 7-3. Meris then helps oversee Trunks' training, while Gohan takes time to be with his family and perform his scholarly roles. Trunks then starting to spend more time on Earth with Echalot and Goten. Granola still captures what remains of 7-3 and wishes to become the strongest in the universe after Elec informs him of there being Saiyans on Earth. He then goes there to take revenge, with Trunks and Gohan being forced into battle with him. Neither can match Granola, but Gohan is able to reason with him when pointing out that both he and Trunks are far too young to have had any part in the sins of their ancestors. In the meantime, the Heaters gather information on the Dragon Balls and wish for Gas to become the strongest in the universe, then go into Earth to get rid of Granola, as he teams up with Trunks and Gohan, once Elec is arrogant enough to tell him the truth of Muesli's demise. Many others such as Echalot, Nappa, Goten, and Piccolo join in to assist them, with them being brought to the brink, causing Gohan to awaken the beast form. Though not capable of surpassing Gas, their combined power and Granola's improvement causes both he and Gas to use up their lifespan, to the extent they both expire before Piccolo wipes out the other Heaters. When the Gammas show up, rather than wishing with the Dragon Balls, Piccolo informs Gohan, who has yet to become too rusty, his beast form easily overpowering the Gammas, and still being strong enough to destroy Cell Max. Regardless of Super, it's in Age 784 that Trunks participates in the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai to face Tajibe, who has the same background as Oob, and then leaves to tutor him. 3 years later, they enter in order to test Oob. In this scenario, a child born in Namu's village, entering to test his abilities, when the elder Namu reminisces about his fight with Goku and the help he got from Muten Roshi. Oob then defeats Tajibe after his taunts, and faces Pan in the next round, whose better ki control has her win by renown. Trunks then offering to tutor him alongside Tajibe. With his constant absence, Echalot's attraction to Trunks starts to fade, with her being drawn to the more present Goten. 2 years later in the GT continuity, Trunks faces Tajibe in a graduation match before facing Oob, all this giving Pilaf the opportunity to make his wish before being deposed. Trunks, Oob, and Pan then go into space. Trunks being far stronger than Goku would normally be here, things become a slightly smoother version to usual events, with the battles against those such as Lude having Oob greatly improve with his natural talent. Trunks still performs forms his usual plan with Gil when they arrive on M2, but Oob, not being mature enough to catch on, has him get angry enough to face Rild before his metal form proves something he can't counter, as he and Pan are turned to metal before Trunks enacts his plan. Trunks is capable enough to avoid getting scratched by Baby on Pital, who flees after things prove too dangerous. When Baby gets to Earth and possesses Goten, it's Echalot who opposes him, when immediately sensing his change during their date where this occurs. Baby then controls her, at which point Piccolo arrives to be defeated as usual. Baby then deciding this body will make a better permanent host than Gohan, with Echalot having been motivated enough to surpass him. Trunks is no match for Echalot Baby, and he fully takes Goku's role, but with Rodai Kaioshin viewing performing the ritual as better than bringing out a tale Trunks never had. Pan, Oob and Ten Shinhan act as controlled followers who sneak aboard a ship to planet Sufru, but the extra time needed to draw Trunks' potential out has Rodai Kaioshin explain the Potara, with Kibitoshin going to give his to Oob and Tajibe. Tajub is strong enough to overpower Baby and even counter the Revenge Death Ball, while Burmak prepares to create a Brutes Wave machine to bring out more of the latent Saya power in Echalot's body. Golden Ozaru Baby easily overpowers Tajub, whose fusion wears off just as Trunks arrives, with the power he'd already drawn out, and what's implied of his natural limits in GT. Trunks completely overpowers Baby and cuts off the tail to cause Baby's retreat and demise, while Kibitoshin destroys the remaining eggs, and the Baby arc goes its usual path. When encountering 17, Trunks' far greater power and serious nature has him make no missteps, and destroys 17, thwarting Gero and Mew's plans before they can even begin. The Dragon Balls narrowly avoid having their minus energy enhanced by the dimensional rift, and Dende deactivates them soon after, when advised by Rodai Kaioshin on their danger. As such, the next generation are led down the right path by those such as Trunks, while Goten and Echalot eventually combine these surviving Saiyan bloodlines. With a child, Nappa recommends calling Vegeta in honor of his best friend. As for Nappa, roughly reaching the age of 80, where Saiyan's strength deteriorates, he peacefully retires to spend time with his family, take up gardening as a hobby, and reminisce on how thankful he is for Vegeta, allowing him to gain such a peaceful life. It's here that, despite not having the most active impact on the plot, the vicarious consequences of Nappa being a Monster Dragon team allows for a very different and bittersweet result for later events. Thank you for having watched through both parts of this What If. Comment any requests, subscribe to not miss them, and check out these older ones. With that, see you next time.